Hey, you tourists, it's your boy Domination. This is Back in the Basics. We're going to do some outtakes, made matter that is back and do this. Real men roster, fake men roster, rural roster, figure roster, plethora, preacher. Welcome to the Back in Basic broadcast, Back in the Basic. And today we're going to talk about, is the unsung previous episode that we never done on YouTube. We already do the new season episode of unsung, but this is a previous episode we never do. So we're going to talk about this review of the previous episode of George Clinton. George Clinton, man. Not George Clooney, but George Clinton. The guy himself, aka Funkenstein. The guy is the founder of the funky part of Parliament, so something like that. Please, I deserve to get roasted not pronouncing their name right. The funky and the funky part of the Parliaments, what the funky Parliaments. So he the co-founder of the group, and let's talk about George Clinton for a minute and this great legend, icon, and the most insane hairdo we ever got. But hey, that's George Clinton. That's what he does. There's no one do it better like he does. Let's talk about him. George Edward Clinton, born July 22, 1941, is an American singer, songwriter, band leader, and recording producer. His product is probably the Funky Dalvitz collection, which in primarily recording under the distributed band name, the Parliaments, or the Funkadelics. Development and a influence and electric form of funk music during the 1970s. They are the founding of the term funk. Those guys. Without them, it wouldn't be nothing. Especially George Clooney. I mean George Clinton, not George Clooney. George Clinton. My bad. During the 1970s, that draw on the science fiction, outlandish costumes, and psychoerotic and surreal humor. He launched his solo career with the 1982 album Computer Games and went on to influence in 1990s hip hop and G Funk. Because they got their influence, especially the West Coast, with the G Funk, the Parliament, the Funkadelics. So without them, it wouldn't be no West Coast hip hop and the G Funk sound, which is gangster funk, but they got the P Funk with the Funkadelic funk. Clinton is regardless along with James Brown and Solid Stone as one of the former in, invented of funk music. He was inducted into a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1992. He was inducted in Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1997. Along the side of the 15 and other members of Parliament of fucking Delics in 2019. He and Delics are given a Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award. So he was born in, this is where he's born, right here. The career and the beginnings. Beginnings. Clooney was born in Paulette, North Carolina, United States. He grew up in Plainfield, New Jersey. So he was born over there in Paulette, North Carolina, but he was raised in Plainfield, New Jersey. Grew up in Plainfield, New Jersey, and recently reside in Tallahassee, Florida. During his teenage years, Clooney formed a doo-wop group inspired by Frankie Lyman and the Teenagers called the Parliaments, while straightening his hair as a barber salon in Plainfield, the western end of Plainfield, New Jersey, was once home to a barber shop on 216 Plainfield Avenue known as Slick Slick Place. Slick Place. Owned in part by Clooney. Clinton. Owned in part by Clinton. It was instead of by the veteran of members of the Parliament Funkadelics, as known as the hangout for all the local singers and musicians in Plainfield in 1950s and 1960s. The doo-wop, soul, rock, and proto-funk music scene. In 1960 and 1970. For a period of time in the 1960s, Clinton was a stuntly songwriter for Motown, despite the commercial failure, and one major hit single, "I Wanna Testify," in 1967, as well as written and producing scores of singles on many of the independent Detroit soul music labels. The Parliaments evenly found success under the name Parliaments in the Funkadelics. In the 1970s, see also P-Funk. Those are the two bands combined the element of musicians, much as Jimi Hendrix, Sly and the Family Stone, Frank Zappa, and James Brown, while exploited evocative sound and technology and lyricism, including and the Parliament and the Funkadelics dominate diverse music during the 1970s, with over 40 R&B hit singles, including three number ones and 3 platinum albums. 3 platinum albums. That's a great accomplishment. From the 1971 to late 1973, Clinton and several other members of the band settled in Toronto. I did not know that. Toronto. I think they did say something like that. That's crazy. During their years in Toronto, they honored their live shows and recording the album America Eats Its Young, which was their first to feature Bootsy Collins. He was in the band with James Brown, and I forgot that his band was called what James Brown band was, because I talk about this in my show about him and what band he was in James Brown band. He was in James Brown band. He was in James Brown band. I think it's the James Brown and JP's or something like that. Yeah, that was called JP, which is known like the James Brown band or something like that. Yeah, because JB, not JP, JB would stand for James Brown the Soul and Mostly Mackin, or AAABB, which is stand for right there. Like, that's James Brown's band. That's James Brown band. That's James Brown band. The James Brown Soul Train, Marlboro and the Max, AABB, Fred Warling and the New JBs, the First Family, and the last word. So James Brown not James Brown. Bootsy Collins was in this band before he left the band and went to George Clinton and his bandmate. Okay. Okay, where is this at? Okay. Which was their first to feature Bootsy Collins in 1980s. In 1980s, Clinton, my bad. In 1980, Clinton begins to encounter of legal differences and rise from permanently in the question of the parliament, the parliament label, the Catholic records, the Catholic records. He is recorded he recorded seven solo albums, and all through of all of those records featured in controlled from the P-Funk core musicians. This period of Clinton's career was marred by multiple legal problems, re- result in financial difference during to royalties and copyrights, notably with Bridgeport of Music, who Clinton claimed friendly outright the copyrights to many of his recordings. And I get it, you have to be very careful when you're taking somebody else's music, especially they ain't not getting paid for it. If you're gonna inspire with the music they done, just make sure they get paid for it. In 1982, Clinton was signed to Capitol Records under the two names, his own as a solo artist and as the P-Funk All-Stars. Released computer games under his name that same year. The single Luzilla hit the top 20 on the R&B charts, followed by Topic Dog, the Topic Dog. That was a hit. I heard that later when it's been out. My parents, my sister's generation, and my stepbrother, they listen to stuff like that. My parents too. Bow wow wow, ippy go, ippy gay, bow wow, ippy go, ippy gay. Woo! That's men's anthem right there, man, because they going around chasing the cat. Why the dog chase the cat? It's the dog in me. I know that's right. Whew. When you see the lady, you just want to roof. I'm telling you, the Potomac Dog. Y'all better listen to that. By the fall, the Potomac Dog, which reaching number one in R&B and 101 on the pop charts in the next 4 years. Clinton released 3 more studio albums. You shouldn't none of it bit fish. That's a name of the album. That's a name. Some of my best jokes are friends and R&B skeletons in the closet. He got some crazy titles, but hey, that's the crazy inspiration of a crazy inventor. You invent stuff that makes something create that no other people will never done. So you gotta love George Clinton for that. As well as a live album. What the heck? Huh? Oh my God! You got to be. You got to hold on, folks. I'll be back. Hold on. I'll be back. Hold on. Hey, I'm back. I was doing something. I was checking out something. Forgive me. Okay. Forgive me. All right. Where I at? R&B Skeletons in the Closet, as well as a live album, Mothership Connection, live from the Summit, Houston, Texas, and charted 3 singles in the R&B Top 30: Nubian Nut, Last Dance, and Do Fries Go With That Shit. I love that record. Do Fries Go To That Shit. I don't like the original. I like the remake one with the Good Burger soundtrack. They make it or remake it on that. I think George Clinton did the remix it of the record because Keenan and Thompson wanted that record on the soundtrack. One of the greatest teen movies. If you never watched Good Burger, you go watch it. Trust me, it's one of the best. It's part of my childhood forever. A lot more to come. Do Fries Go With That Shake? And he also noted music producing, who working on almost all the albums he performed on, and had to produce the album for Bootsy Collins and the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Yeah, he was produced Red Hot Chili Peppers album. It was that album was oh my God, what Red Hot Chili Peppers album was called? It was a funny. It was not a funny title. It was a crazy title. It was okay. It was I forgot if I don't think they produced the album. I think he was produced one of the songs they did. It was called Blood Sugar Sex Magic. Blood Sugar Sex Magic. It's a crazy title. It is a crazy title. No, it was actually Rick Rubin directing this album. They was working on some music that George Clinton did with the record. I don't know what record they did. They did some record with George Clinton. I'm not for sure because Red Hot Chili Peppers, they was inspired of George Clinton and the product with the Funkadelics. They were inspired by them because I'm telling you, they inspired more generations. I don't know what song, I can't remember. If y'all know the song, y'all know what I'm talking about. Okay, all right. Let's focus on what we should talk about. Okay, where are we at? Okay, yeah, along with others in 1985, he was recruited by the Chili Peppers to produce their album called Funky Styley. That I think that was their first album. So it wasn't that album. It was their first album they done. It was their first album. It was right here. George Clinton produced this album, Funky Styley, or something like that. That was George Clinton can write some songs, man. Don't get it twisted. George Clinton could write a song. He did a good work because they was influenced by George Clinton. They were influenced by the Parliaments of Funkadelic. So it's rappers and a lot more. He inspired a lot of people. So it wasn't that album. My bad. I'm sorry about that. But there was that Red Hot Chili Peppers' first album. That was their first album they done. I don't know if this is their first album or their second album. Let me see. No, it was their second album, my bad. It wasn't their first album. It was their second album because Red Hot Chili Peppers, that wasn't their first album. That was their second album. Because Red Hot Chili Peppers' second album was... Okay, where's their first album? Their first album, Red Hot Chili Peppers. That was their first album. Because their second album, Freaky Style, that was their second album, and he did a good job with that album, though. I don't know if it was, they say it was their success or something like that. I'm not for sure, but because the band members are huge fans of George Clinton and of funk in general, Clinton wrote the vocals and the lyrics to the title track, which was originally introduced by the band to be the left as a instrument piece. The album was not, so the album didn't do well. They say it didn't do very much. The album was not a commercial success at the time. In 1987, Clinton was reunited to write the main song, write the theme song for Tracy Ullman's show. You thinking right. So I did not know that. I mean, George Clinton did so much. He did so much, man. He really does. He's a legend and a pioneer and icon. Very iconic person. Influenced during the mid to late 1980s. Many hip hop and rap artists listed of George Clinton the early music as a influence, right along with James Brown. Yep, Clinton songs with the Parliament and the Funkadelics are offered samples by rappers producers. Sure, sample my stuff. He remarked it in 1996. It ain't better time to get paid than when you my age and you know what to do with the money. You don't buy as much pussy or drugs with it. You just buy some. I can't believe he said that. But I understand where George Clinton come from because hip hop is the only genre that sample music. And so is this, but mostly hip hop. Because this is the reason why they look at hip hop as not music. The reason why they look at hip hop as not music because hip hop didn't play instruments. They used an instrument machine, but it used to be a time that music at that time playing instruments, guitars and stuff. Now the only people that do it play guitar is probably the Booyah Tribe and Ice-T. Ice-T got the band from the Booyah Tribe because they were the first Pacific Islanders that did it. Had tattoos and do-rags and they were some big motherfuckers. You thought they were big Samoanized wrestlers. I mean, they were big, but they were in the streets, man. They was break dancers, and then they joined a gang activity, and then they joined the band. They are legendary mint group. They don't get enough credit like they should. Rest in peace to Ted Valley, aka the Godfather. If you don't know who he is, then he's the oldest brother for the Booyah Tribe. Rest in peace. And shout out to the Booyah Tribe. Because they need to give them the credit that they should. Because without that, it wouldn't be nothing without Booyah Tribe. Because they the first Islander rappers in hip-hop. Hands down. In 1989, Clinton released the Cinderella Theory on Presley Park. Rest in peace, Prince. Prince recording label. This was a following by Hey Man, Smell My Finger in 1993. Clinton then signed with Sony 550 and released total. I can't pronounce this. Typical Inferno, the awesome power of a fully Operation Mothership. That's what it means. It's TAPOAFOM. It stands for the awesome power of a fully Operation Mothership in 1996. Yeah, they made a comeback. Everybody getting funked up. That was their soundtrack. And 1990s and to the 2000s. The year in 1994 seen Clinton continue to set several tracks on the Preliminary Scream studio album. Get Out But Don't Give Up. Get Out But Don't Give Up. In 1995, Clinton sang Mind Games on the John Lennon tribute, Working Class Hero. Yeah, that was John Lennon's song. And he paid tribute to him. That's pretty nice. Clinton appeared in films much as Graffiti Bridge. That was not a good movie. That was Prince not that was unsuccessful album. Unsuccessful movie. It was unsuccessful. It didn't do very well. Like Purple Rain. It could not top Purple Rain though. He was trying to do that, but the Graffiti Bridges wasn't good, and even a Cherry Under the Moon. Come on, man, it's just as bad as the other one. It's just rest in peace to Prince, man. I always got respect for him, even though I was Michael Jackson fan more than the Prince fan. But I respect what Prince does. But that was both of those movies wasn't good like Purple Rain was. Graffiti Bridge in 1990, House Party in 1990, PCU 1994. Good Burger in 1997, boy. Those are the days when I was like 11 years old when that movie came out. Man, it changed everything. And The Breaks, 1999. In 1997, he appeared as himself in the Cartoon Network show Space Goes Coast to Coast. Yeah, they were featured. It was a cartoon talk show host. He was in there. Clinton also appeared as the voice of the funky planet of the DJ of the funk radio station Bounce FM in 2004 video game Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Yeah, he was. He was in there. In which his song Loopzilla also appeared. Rappers Dr. Dre offers samples Clinton's music and helped to bring about the G-Funk era in 1999. Clinton collaborated with Lil' Kim and Fred Durst for rap metal group, yeah, Method of Mayhem single Get Naked. It wasn't a great song. It wasn't. Come on, man. It was just looked like it came from a corrupted, conditionized game, come from a porno addictment addict porno music game. It was not a good song. It was Get Naked, and it's living off of Tommy Lee and Pamela Anderson's sex tape. It was just not that good. And Lil' Kim was butt ass naked with the animal fur, and then you got George Clear butt ass naked, like he masturbating on there, like he was a underage older man over. He was like a old age pervert man, just pervertized Lil' Kim. It was just not a good song. It wasn't. It was terrible. It was, but that was just what it was. But much love to what they do. They tried, displayed his influence on rap and hip hop. Clinton also worked with Tupac Shakur on the song "Can't See Me." Man, that was a classic song, man. You gotta listen to that. It's very classic time. From the album All Eyes on Me, Ice Cube on this song and a video for Pop Gun One Nation on the Legal Injection album, which sampled Funkadelic's early hit One Nation Under a Groove. Outkast on the song Civilizing from the album. Area I can't pronounce the Outkast album. It's Areas Juvenile, quite a Juvenile. That was a great album. That was the best album of Outkast they ever done in their lifetime of their careers. Redman on the song Jump from the album Muddy Practice. Soul of Mischief on Mama Knows Best from the album Trilogy, Conflicted and Climax and Resolution. Killer Priest on Come With Me from the album Priesthood. The Wu-Tang on Wolf from the album 8 Diagrams. Sorry about that, feeble. 8 Diagrams. Clinton found a record label called the C. Crezat in 2003. He has a collabo appeared in Where We Are. The season 2 premiered of the ABC television sitcom How Can I Meet Your Mother on September the 18th, 2006. He appeared on Into Snoop Dogg, the Blue Carpet Treatment album, released in 2007. Clinton was also a judge for the 5th annual Independent Music Awards to support independent artists' careers on September the 16th, 2008, and that was like my birthday. Clinton released a solo album, George Clinton and His Gangster of Love, on subtly French records, and largely a covered album. Gangster featured of guest appearances from Sadly Stone, Al DeBarge, Red Hot Chili Pepper, RZA, Carlos Santana, and gospel singer Kim Lee, and more. On September the 10th, 2009, George Clinton was awarded the Urban Icon Award from Broadcast Music Incorporation. The ceremony featured P-Funk Association of Boosie College as well territory performance as Big Boy from Outkast and CeeLo Green from Goody Mob. And also in 2009, Clinton was inducted into the North Carolina Music Hall of Fame. Big up to that. That's huge. All right. Okay, we got one more. In 2010, on March the 7th, 2010, Clinton voiced a colorful, brotherly of alien version of himself in T-Pain's Adult Swim television movie Freaknik, the musical. I didn't see it until I seen it later. It was okay. It just could have done better though. It was all right. In May 2012, Clinton was awarded a honors the Doctorate of Music from Berklee College of Music. During the commencement of a concert, Clinton joined the college P-Funk and organization to perform hits like Testified, Giving Up the Funk, and One Nation Under a Groove. He was achievement by a long time horns player, Burnley and Code One, and Greg Thomas. Clinton was a guest star in Oddly Future television show Letterly Squad on Adult Swim in 2013. On June 27, 2015, Clinton joined Mark Ronson, Mary J. Blige, and Grandmaster Flash on the stage at the Colorado Festival to perform Ronson's hit Uptown Funk. Yeah, that's my shit. Don't believe it, just watch. Oh, that was the shit. Clinton also appeared with Kendrick Lamar on the song Wesley Theory from the album To Pimp a Butterfly. In March 2017, Clinton appeared on the Adult Swim television series Fish Center Live, the outlet, and certainly an article described as it Samson and accurately described it as the episode that makes the most incredibly of narrator sense. Clinton and the product of the Funkadelics are slensely to the headlines of the several Tree Photo Music Festival in Berkeley and Outdoor in 2018. The release of a new Parliament album and Chronicle Incredibly Dog was announced in March 2018. It was released May the 22. In April 2018, Clinton announced that he would retire from touring. In May 2019, the Billboard report that Clinton had recently ongoing peacemaking surgery, but he said that he would not affected in his decision. He indicative that he expected a predominantly Funkadelics would continue to tour without him, saying the truth would be told. It's never really been about me. It was always been about the music, right? And the band. And the band. That's the real P-Funk legacy. They still be funking along after I stopped. Early in 2018, he told Rolling Stone that he had make a hologram assuming that the band could have it started performing in Las Vegas. I'm against holograms because to me, when entertainers passed away, they still use them just to make a fortune out of them. It's best to let their music speak for itself. That's just what I say. In December 2018, the Recording Academy announced that Clinton and President of Funkadelics would be given a Lifetime Achievement Award. The awards will be presented on May. Clinton, a collaboration with the Flying Nimbus on his new album. Flaming Gravity release on May 24, 2019. The track Burn Down the House was rewrote by Clinton. Personal life. Clinton married Stephanie Lunsky Clinton in 1990. In February 2013, after 22 years of marriage, he filed for divorce. Clinton is currently married to Covington Thomason Clinton. His management of over 10 years. On February the 1st, 2010, Clinton's 50 years old son, Clinton Jr., was found dead. Yeah, it's sad. In his Florida home. According to the police, he died of natural causes and had been dead for several days. Damn. Clinton was inducted as an honored member of Omega and Alpha and Alpha on July 30, 2020. The CD graphic. For more details and CD graphic and information about George Clinton, Prince solo scenes, Parliament of Funkadelics, and the Parliament of the band. Okay, his first album in 1982, Computer Games, and he was in the label Capitol Records. Capitol Records. Finally, so the U.S. four. It was sold 4 peep and then 3 to the U.S. R&B. And 1983, You Should Nutty Bit of Fish, released and labeled Capitol Records 102 and 18. So that's a position pop from the U.S. charts and the U.S. R&B charts. So, okay, in 1985, Some of My Best Jokes Are Friends, released in label Capitol. And 1986, R&B Skeletons in the Closet, in the label Capitol Records. In 1989, The Cinderella Theory, released Presley Park Records. That was a Prince label. And 1993, Hey Man, Smell My Finger, release and label Presley Park Records. And 1993, Dope Dogs, release XYZ, so that's an independent label. And 1996, TAPOAFOM. So I ain't got to explain what it stands for because I already just said it. And the label Sony 550 Music. In 2005, How Late Do You Have to BB for You Are AdSent? Release September the 6th, 2005. DC Incredibly in Algorithm. And 2008, George Clinton and His Gangster of Love, released September the 16th, 2008. So I didn't get the CD because that was my birthday though. I forgot how old I was turning. Even though I'm 34, So when I graduated, I was like 18 at the time in 2005. 2006, I was 19. 2007, uh, 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 I was 20. And I think 2008, I was 21 at the time when this album was released. So it was in the label Charlie French Records. So, and the live albums, the Mothership Connection live from Houston, and 1976 and 1990s live from the Beverly Theaters and Westbound Records label, and 1995 the Mother Connection Nudibird session, and 2004 500 and catalog with P-Funk Power live, the label Fruit Tree. That must be independent label. And 2006 Take It to the Stage live and release on the label Music Avenue. In 2015 P-Funk live at the Police Police release in July 31, 2015. The label Predator and Police. So in the Family Series albums, Family Season albums, Goldfully and Freely Funk, 1992, and Fletchley Funk, P is the Funk, 1993, Test Positive for Funk, A Filter of Funk, and 1995, The Best Collaboration. So, and an EP, 1988, Atomic Clinton released in Capitol Records in 1990, and Atomic Dog label release Capitol Records. And then the album, and then it's also singles, 1982, Zilla and Atomic Dog, and 1983, Nubian Nut, and 1986, Do Fries Go With That Shake, and R&B Skeletons in the Closet, and 1989, Why Should I Dog You Out, and Twerking, and 1993, Paint the White House Black. It was tight. And Martial Law, If Anybody Get Funked Up, It's Gonna Be You, as George Clinton and the P-Funk All-Star. Okay. Computer games should none of the big fish, and R&B Skeletons in the Closet, and the Sugar Brothers Theory, Hey Man, Smell My Finger, and TAPOAFOM. I ain't gotta explain it because you already know what it means. So look at all the songs that he done. He done a lot of songs, man. I ain't gonna read that much all the songs, but that's a lot of songs. But only thing I can say about this legend, he's a great pioneer and an icon, and his music will live on for next generation more to come. So that's all I can bring. I hope you enjoyed this for my review for Unsongs for George Clinton. And stay tuned on that. We're gonna talk about the Fat Boys on next Sunday. Next Sunday. So see y'all then. So it's your boy Domination. This is Back of the Basic. Try to do this out takes, baby. Till next time. All right. Peace. I'm out. All right. Peace.